The last and final topic that we have in time domain specifications is dominant poles. Okay, so what is meant by dominant poles and what is their significance? Okay, so what are the poles? The poles of the transfer function are nothing but the roots of the characteristic equation. Okay, so for a system to be stable, the roots of characteristic equation we have discussed, they should lie on the left half of the S plane. Okay, so what are these roots? Minus zeta omega n plus or minus j omega n root over 1 minus zeta square. Okay, so if you take the S plane, this is the sigma real part of S and this is j omega imaginary part of S. Okay, so the roots we can represent like this. Okay, so this is minus alpha comma 0. Alpha is nothing but zeta omega n. So we can also write the roots as minus alpha plus or minus j omega d. Okay, so this is minus alpha comma 0 and this point is j omega d plus j omega d and this is minus j omega d. Okay, 0 comma minus j omega d. Similarly, you have 0 comma j omega d. Okay, so the roots will lie at minus alpha and omega d and this will be minus alpha minus omega d. Okay, now from here you can observe that the poles which are closer to j omega axis will have alpha, the magnitude of the real part, to be less, right? The closer they move to the j omega axis, lesser will be the magnitude of their real parts. Okay, the magnitude of real part is nothing but alpha. Okay, now the time constant t is given by 1 by zeta omega n, right? So this is nothing but 1 by alpha. Okay, so this means that the poles which are closer to j omega axis will have the time constant large. Okay, larger time constant. Okay, because of this relation. So what will happen when the time constant is large? The response will be slower. Okay, so the system response will be slow, implies that the transients will take more time to decay. Okay, transients will decay slowly. Okay, in contrast, if the poles are far away from the j omega axis, okay, then what will happen? The opposite effect will happen. The transients will die out faster. Okay, why? Because when the poles are far away from the j omega axis, the zeta omega n, magnitude of zeta omega n, it will be larger. So the time constant will be smaller. Okay, when time constant is small, it means that the response will be faster. So the transients will die out faster. So whenever you are analyzing the system, such a system, the poles that are far away from j omega axis, the corresponding transients will die out faster, so they don't have to be analyzed. Okay, but the poles which are closer to the j omega axis, since they decay slowly, they will need to be analyzed. These transients need to be analyzed because they are existing for a longer duration of time. Okay, so for this duration, the poles closer to the j omega axis we call as dominant poles because they are important to analyze the performance of the system. Okay, now we have seen that closer and far away from j omega axis, it makes a difference. But how close or how far from the j omega axis? Here we have a representation of the region of dominant poles and the region of insignificant poles. Okay, so we can see that the region of dominant poles, we have taken a region where the real part will be less than x1. Okay, the magnitude is less than x1. Okay, and the region of insignificant poles, we have taken the magnitude of the real parts to be greater than x2. Okay, so when do we call, at what values of x1 and x2 do we call it an insignificant pole region and a dominant pole region? Okay, so x2, the magnitude of x2 should be at least 5 to 10 times of the magnitude of x1. Okay, so for a system, let us say there are poles in the dominant pole region, and there are poles in the insignificant pole region. Okay, then this is called as the insignificant pole, and this is called as the dominant